And I also have in here a bunch of workshops that you can use. Okay, some of these are really specialized workshops that I use, and I have like some things here with as soon as I pull it up. And I was using like some stuff in the chapters in the book where I have like their thesis model types, and so I have something like this, and I have I was working with visual text, uh, you know, because I was doing stuff with perception and text. I had my students like writing about text, and I had a text as a really general type of interpretation. I had like a big general interpretation of text. Like text could be like almost anything that you could interpret, okay, or that could reflect meaning from society, okay, or you could interpret meaning from society. Anyway, yes, you can see that. That's crystal clear there. But anyway, uh, should cut that out, but I won't have time. Okay, yes, we're doing this on the fly. Anyway, this is one example again of something. Notice this PNG. This is also something where I pasted this into a page, and that's why this is a PNG. Those of you, just a little hint. If you want to do something on the pages, you'll want to get this out of your Windows package, or import the same thing. I forget what it's called in Mac. I don't think it's snipping tool though, but it's the same thing exists in Mac. Basically, these snipping tools, this will change your world if you haven't used it yet. But basically, this gives you, instead of like a screen capture, this gives you like a much um, refined way to produce an image from your screen that's higher res, and you can control what part of the screen. Like suppose I only wanted like this little arrow here, or maybe even just this table. I could hit new here and see how it gives me like a rectangular, freeform snip, window snip. Like I could do the full screen, I could do the full window. Say I just want the rectangular snip. It gives me the opportunity to snip where I want. I can go like this. I can snip where I want, and see it creates like an image. And if I go in here, I can save it as whatever I want. So here it's saving as PNG file, but you can see I can save it as a JPEG. Like I have like all of these different options here. Okay, and this is a way you can save these things, and then basically paste them into your uh, your Canvas pages. I will tell you just a word of advice. A lot of what you do, a lot of what you do for your a lot of what you do for saving images often has to be put into a format that Canvas will like, and sometimes that's actually even a PDF. So sometimes you have to load PDFs on there. Yeah, I mean it gets a little funky, but you'll get past that. Okay. Once you work with it a little bit, you kind of figure out. That's why all these things, there's a bunch of PDFs here and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to make these images to put on a PDF, and then you actually load a PDF on there. Okay. So, but here these are all workshops, and for those of you who are new, Like all the DDs here. Like I have workshops for the different stages of the DDs. So here's like a DD1 workshop draft. And so this one's the last workshop of the DD1. Okay, and you can download like these Word docs and revise them. But so this has basically, different questions that you want them to write about and discuss. Okay. And at the time I had them going to a group workshop folder, and I gave them directions, and we'll talk about this in some of the workshops. But what I ended up changing that to was to put links on each one of the workshop pages to the folders themselves. And I think I have them all in place, but I don't know whether I have them in each one of the workshop pages. So I'll show you those in the actual, like, in our time together live, and you can check that out. But this is kind of like a growing pain thing. We'll all figure out how to get all this stuff done. But like, until that's because Canvas hasn't or at least when I was using it in the spring, we didn't have all the group functions, and so we supposedly did install many more of them. So hopefully we'll soon be able to have things in place that we won't need to do this, and that they can just load it using the page itself, and we can just assign them like through the regular Canvas functions. Excuse me. But I had the hiccups. But until then, this is something that we can all use, and it's a little bit more advanced, but it's a cool thing. Okay, so all this is set in place already for you here. Okay.